Good morning, beautiful bright sunny day here in Peterborough while I start video number 2 on the Bertone X1 and a little sort of rundown about what we're gonna do today. Whether we won't get all of it done, we'll try and get the sort of work that I'm going to introduce to you today done over the weekend, but today's going to be the start. So first of all, I'd like to thank everybody across the Facebook groups that I posted about the car. Thank you for watching the video, I really appreciate it. And also for the advice on how we go about treating the rust that's left over. There's only little bits, like bits on the interior, which I'll show you. I'll just do a little video of the bits that we're going to sort of attack today, the kind of the visible parts. But mainly it was around the welded areas that we've got on the bare metal that's exposed now, because obviously at some point, if we don't do anything about it, it's going to go rusty again, which is exactly not the situation that we want. So thanks for everybody's advice. I've done a lot of research online and also consulted a couple of friends who are in the bodywork game locally. And yesterday I went down to Granville Supplies, who, if you're in the Peterborough or in this area and you're in the bodywork industry, you'll know them very well. So they gave me some brilliant advice, and I managed to pick up some etch primer, which we're going to be using today once we've got things sanded back, and we've used some of this Rust, which I've used before on my Alfa Romeo 156, sort of rust converter. So really what we're going to do today is, with the wire brushes that we've got, is really agitate all of the loose rust away and try and get a clean surface, give everything a really nice clean back. We're going to start on the inside of the car. And then once we're finished with that, is use some of the sandpaper here to sort of sand down to make sure we've got a really smooth finish, and then we'll apply the etch primer, so we'll know at that point that those areas are all ready to go. The priority for me with this car is really to get the interior done, or the inside of the car done, because we know the interior of this car is very, very good, and most of it's inside my flat. I've got the seats in the back of the garage, together with the carpet and a few other bits as well. So I want to get the inside of this done. I want to get the interior reassembled. What we're also going to do is to apply some sound deadening. Again, did exactly the same thing on my Alfa 156. If I can find the pictures, I might cut one or two of the pictures of the floor pan from the inside of the car, how it looked before and after I applied it. Really, really good product, and it leaves an amazing result. So we're going to invest in some of that. We're going to go for the really thin stuff. There's some sort of 1.5 mil stuff that we can get, because when we took the interior out of this car and took the carpets out, there wasn't very much down there really. There was something in the footwells which is mostly disintegrated. So we don't want to go with the big thick stuff. We're going to use something quite thin. So managed to find something at 1.5 mil. And when we get hold of that, we'll put a link to that in the description for the next video. But for today, it's about cracking on and getting some of this sort of, not big bouts of rust, but rusty spots dealt with, treated, so we can move on to the next step. So I'm doing this bit handheld on the camera, so the audio might not be as good as it is normally on these videos, but just having made a start, I've got a drain plug here which is in good nick, but as usual with old cars, when you start peeling back the layers, you start to find little problems. So I've got a couple of holes there, which these parts, the part in between, it's all still solid. So we just need that sorting out. So looks like Mr. Welder might be getting involved again. We just started sort of scraping away around here, which hasn't revealed any more disasters just yet. There's one little area just here, whether the camera will pick it up. There's a couple of little holes just there. I think what we'll do is take a look underneath the car and see really what that shows up. But this is just where we get started, so you'll know yourselves that when you start doing the work on these cars, that when you start peeling the layers of the onion back, you start finding some bits inside that really aren't as good as you'd hoped. Right, again, I'm freestyling with the camera, so again, sound might not be as good, but I've just attacked the bits with some of the 180 sandpaper. I'm just giving things a bit of a rub down, just to agitate all of the sort of loose rust away and to give a fairly flat surface. These bits, if you compare with kind of where we started, have come away nicely, so there's lots of agitation there and lots has come away, so I'm quite happy with how that looks. This part doesn't look fantastic, but does look quite solid apart from those few little bits which I mentioned. And then just underneath the driver's seat here, that's all pretty good as well. So I'll just pop over the other side and show you how that looks. So this is the passenger side. So again, just been at it with the sandpaper. We've got a slightly bigger, we've got a much bigger hole there. Little lugs that fit for the door rubbers that go in there. And along here, so we've given this a rub up. The actual footwell of this one is a lot better than the driver's side. But again, just giving that a good scrub back. And sort of cleaned out all in there. And what we're going to do, well, that's my cat jumped in the car. Hello, Cookie. And again, that doesn't look brilliant, but is all quite solid. So that's the end of that. And that's my cat, who's inevitably going to star in some of these videos in the future. So here we are again, freestyling with the camera. I've applied the Courist, and you can see what that's done now. So it says it will turn it sort of a black colour for any bits that it detects and doesn't like that much. What I can tell you is, these bits are all to dry out. I've been probably a bit liberal, a bit more liberal than I should have been, but what the hell, once you're in for a penny, in for a pound. I covered this whole panel as well, and this has basically dried out, which says to me that there is no exposed rust there, so that's brilliant news. And again in here, you can see the colour change on what's gone on. This is the kind of the residue that it leaves on just some of the little rusty spots that we found. I've done the passenger side as well, so we'll just go over there and take a look how that one is. So again, you can see just where the colour change has happened. So where the Courist has done its job. And again, we've just got into little nooks and the crannies. There's still a bit or two in there that I can probably deal with a bit more. But you can see in there, we've got into all the little bits. And the colour change that happens. This side's probably, as I said in the other video, a bit better than the driver's side. But still, you've got a good idea of kind of what we've done. Just wait for this to dry now. So while that's drying, I'm going to try and attack a few of the other parts of the bare metal on the other parts of the car. Now, a short little close-up. This was one of the rusty areas that we had on the back of the car. So that's like the boot latch. And then into this corner as well, which is all new metal. And it sort of goes along here a little bit into where that rear light cluster goes in. So I've rubbed all these back with a bit of sandpaper. And we've got a nice smooth key, a nice smooth surface. So what I'm going to do now is just apply some of the etch primer that we've got, just to seal all those bits in. So here's the first look at the etch primed bit, which you'll see it's not too bad. I'll just put a light coat over. You can see it really raises up the bits that sort of need blocking away, so which is like here, which we'll deal with when we get to doing the bodywork. And again over here, again you can see when he's working back, and that carries on sort of under here. It gets a bit dark there, so you might not see that terribly well. And underneath here, also primed around this piece. Mind my finger in the way. I'll just move around here, and we've covered that sort of panel as well. So just masked over the little cover there. And that sort of covers this area too. So again, you can see how much that needs working back when we get to sort of bodywork stage. Apology for the shaky arm, I'm reaching a bit. But that's the start of what we're going to do all around the car with the bare metal. And now we're going to prime the inside. Right, so we've done the etch primer now. Again, you can see where these raised amounts are, where the new metal's gone in. We've just got just a light coat, really, just to cover this. First of all, we're going to let everything dry out. So the coup rust has done its job. And really now what we're going to do is push it back into the garage because I'm running out of time. And let this dry out overnight, and I'm going to come back to it tomorrow. So that's the driver's side. We'll pop over to the passenger side and just see how that's shaping up as well. So this is the passenger side. Again, a little light dusting, just to have covered those pieces over. You can see where the new metal's gone in there, quite obvious, so that will need working. When we get to do more on the bodywork, this is about protection. So in here, the coup rust has done its thing, all dried out very nicely. So just gave that a little light dusting with the primer. It's a bit lighter when we get into where the seat is here, because there's not really much issue just there. But in the footwell, giving that a nice covering. And if we just sort of show over to the driver's side, you'll see the kind of the sill panel there, where those holes are. So we're just giving those a little bit of a spray inside. Obviously we need to get cavity wax and stuff in there to make sure that those things are not rusting from the inside out in the future. So that's where we've got to so far. Hi everybody. The weekend's kind of over now, the rain's just started, so we've put the car back in the garage. When I said that we really want to try and get the interior in the car, you know what the score is. As soon as you start peeling away the bloody layers of this car, we'll just find more and more things to do. So we've managed to managed to cover a lot this weekend. We managed to disassemble the front end. So underneath there, the radiator's gone, so that's all going to get nice and cleaned up as well. And we've protected most of the bare metal welding that's been done too. So even though it feels like we've just uncovered more things to do, we've actually covered quite a lot of ground. So we'll give you another update next weekend. If the weather's decent, we'll be working at it again. So thanks for tuning in, and we're really going to need some help from the X19 and Bertone community, because there's lots of things here that we're just not quite sure how to do. So we'll reach out to you and we'll ask you those questions. Please comment about the video. If you like it, please pop us a line and say that you do. And why not, while you're there, hit the old subscribe button too. Thanks for watching.